Look around. The game has changed, hasn't it? Limited partners used to be silent players, shaking hands, signing checks, quietly waiting for returns. But those days? They're fading fast. Now, LPs are stepping out of the shadows, and they're not just investors anymore. They're fighters, activists ready to shake the foundations of the old, tired systems holding everything back. Why? Because sitting still, trusting the same old scripts, watching your investments get shuffled around like a card game no longer cuts it. You feel it deep down, that nagging frustration when promises of growth turn to slow, stagnant numbers. When governance looks like a show with actors playing roles they don't own. When you realize your capital isn't just being deployed, it's being diffused, diluted by noise, by politics, by companies more interested in status quo than breakthrough. That's the pain. Watching your influence shrink while the stakes get higher and the world moves faster. You're done waiting. You know that money alone doesn't create change, doesn't build empires, doesn't carve paths to futures worth having. You need to be more than a check in the system. You need to feel power, real power. The kind that wakes you up at 3 a.m., not because you're worried, but because you're fired up, ready to move. Ready to ensure your capital does exactly what you want. Shifts, shakes, transforms. LPs today stand at a crossroads. You can keep playing the quiet game, hoping others will take the reins, or you can step into a role nobody expected, but the world desperately needs. You can be the spark, the one who refuses to sit back, while innovation gasps for air, while founders lose their way in boardroom politics, while giants grow sad, slow, weighed down by inertia. Activism isn't just about protest signs or shouting into the void. It's about influence wielded with intent. It's about taking your seat at the table and demanding more than just a quarterly update. It's about asking the tough questions no one else dares ask. It's about digging into how products shape cultures, how policies handcuff potential, how visions get blurred in the fog of short-term thinking. You might ask yourself, how does this help you? How does becoming an activist LP save you from the endless loops of mediocre returns and meaningless meetings? Simple. It puts control back in your hands. It sharpens your vision. It arms you with clarity. When you hold companies accountable, when you push for transparency, when you demand that those building the future do it on your terms, you transform your role from passenger to driver. Every LP who's moved beyond simply investing knows the feeling that's impossible to shake, the itch to call things out, to say no when something's off, to turn silence into impact. That urge to do more isn't a burden, it's an awakening. It's the soul of a movement growing quietly but fiercely inside the ecosystem you thought you understood. But this shift isn't easy. It means walking into rooms where power is uneasily shared. It means confronting founders who are comfortable with old ways. It means weathering resistance from GPs and firms built on deferment and inertia. It means saying goodbye to peace of mind and hello to relentless curiosity and tough love. Here's the truth. The LPs who succeed in this new era are the ones who embrace discomfort. They are impatient about complacency, furious about wasted potential. They don't settle for good enough. They make it their mission to listen harder, to build channels of real dialogue with their portfolio companies. They challenge boards with rigor, asking not just what, but why. And when they discover companies wandering off course, they step in with clarity and conviction, steering, nudging, at times pulling back the reins. This is not about control for control's sake. It is about preserving what matters most: integrity of vision, courage to innovate, and a relentless pursuit of impact. This activism is strategic. It's not throwing stones, but building ladders. It's understanding when to push and when to pull back, when to lead and when to follow. It's mastering patience without losing pressure. It's holding conversations that open minds, not shutting doors. This is the warfare of influence, played with respect, but fought with intensity. For LPs willing to commit here, the payoff isn't just better returns, it's transformation at every level. You become part of a rare breed shaping industries, reshaping norms, igniting change that echoes long after the ink on old term sheets fades. You wield your voice like a weapon forged in experience and courage. You are no longer passive. You are liberators of potential. What does that liberation look like? It's seeing your investments align, not just with financial goals, but with values that fuel real growth. It's watching founders light up because you've cut through bureaucracy, cleared obstacles, challenged them to be sharper and bolder. It's knowing that your capital accelerates new ideas that don't just fit the mold, but smash it wide open. This kind of activism demands resilience. It means absorbing setbacks without giving in, learning when to double down and when to pivot. It's about building alliances with other LPs who share the fire. Together, voices loud enough to rattle boards become unstoppable forces. If this sounds like a revolution, it is. But it's not chaos. It's a calculated dance between patience and urgency, a constant balancing act that takes deep understanding of people, markets, and the ruthless realities of business today. Most LPs aren't ready for this because it asks too much honesty, too much grit, too much risk. But for those who dare, the rewards go beyond money. You forge legacy, you craft futures, you haunt the borders of possibility until they break open. You don't have to wait for permission. You don't have to sit on the sidelines hoping for change. The tools are in your grasp: sharpened insights, direct engagement, relentless questioning. Use them. Demand transparency. Build accountability. Insist your capital reflects your courage. Don't just fund, shape. Don't just hold shares. Hold influence. Don't just optimize returns. Optimize impact. The LPs transforming today are the ones who see beyond comfort, beyond the safety of traditional roles. They see investing as a form of activism, a daily fight against stagnation, a persistent call to raise the bar higher than ever. This isn't a trend, it's a reckoning. It's the moment limited partners become the trailblazers, the guardians of real innovation, the voices that refuse to be muted or sidelined. So, if your gut twists when you think about passive investing, if your nights burn with questions about where your money truly goes and who it serves, know this: you are not alone. There's a fire growing in the rare few who won't just settle. The solution isn't in luck or waiting. It's in action. It's in courage. It's in stepping up, speaking out, demanding better, pushing harder. Because the world's changing. And you can either be part of the noise or part of the signal. You can be one more bystander or the one who changes the game. Now is the time for LPs to stop being quiet investors and start being relentless activists. Your capital is your power. Your voice is your weapon. Use them both to carve a future worth having. A future where your impact echoes louder than any return. Where your values aren't just written on paper, but lived, breathed, fought for. This shift is already happening. It's time to choose which side you're on. Will you watch from the sidelines? Or will you rise, roar, and reclaim what's rightfully yours? The chance to make investing an act of true liberation. Because in the end, limited partners who act aren't just reshaping portfolios. They're reshaping reality. And that changes everything.